Welcome. In front of me is an INFINIX Hot 60i, and today I will show you how you can go through the setup process of this device. So, to get started, when you boot it up the very first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see on my end, which is just a welcoming screen. Now we're going to click on the only thing we can, which is the arrow, and this will move us to the language selection page. Now here, find the language that you wish to use. I'll be selecting English in here, and just select US, I guess. Moving on to the next page, we can select our country/region. Now here, I will actually be selecting Poland, not because it's a place where I am from actually, but because Poland is part of European Union, and European Union is part of not giving two single shits about corporations and their feels getting hurt. Unlike any kind of US law that basically caters to these, individuals to basically make them stay in their country because GDP and bullshit like that. And hey, if they're PDF files, that's completely fine, right? So I'm selecting this just because, number one, like I said, European Union doesn't care about that. Number two, as European Union kind of proactively just goes against this in a way. So as an example, when you have someone like Apple, with their completely monopolistic, closed off little garden, right, of their iOS, European kind of goes in there, just, nope, you can't do that, right? And just takes them to court for this bullshit. Because them kind of trying to, gatekeep anyone that they don't want in their OS is obviously monopolistic behavior. And that is not against the law, no matter what Supreme Court in US will tell you. So I like this country, any kind of country in EU, because of this specific reason. And obviously if a company is mandated by law to change something, like Apple would, for instance, they're gonna probably comply maliciously, but they will only do that in regions where they are forced to. At the moment, I know that they are forced in one country to do this, to basically allow third-party stores, but for some reason they're still somehow catching 30% revenue from that, even though what are they doing? For what? So again, there's still some bullshit happening from these abominable cunts, but hey, at least they're forced to do something that they didn't want to do. Though to be fair, they're kind of winning at that one in this case. But otherwise, any kind of other laws that are consumer friendly, or trying to at least be, those will obviously primarily come from EU. So selecting EU country would kind of make you fall under that, or at least I would hope so. So that's the only reason why I recommend changing it to this country or any other EU country. Now moving on, we have insert SIM card. Now this step is completely optional. You don't need to do it. You can just actually skip it. Now obviously it's a phone, so you probably want to do this, but just know you don't need to. As also, you don't need to connect to Wi-Fi network, which I'll be skipping. Moving on, we have user agreement and services. So we have terms of use and privacy policy, and you can tap on both of those to read exactly what you're agreeing to, or you can be like everyone else and never read a single word of it. Just select that I have read and agreed, carefully even, and just go to the next page. Now, showing user experience improvement programs. Yeah, we're gonna disagree to that one. They don't pay you for this, so there's no reason why you should. Moving on, unlocking method, fingerprint, face recognition, password. Now, password consists of 3 different options: PIN, pattern, or password. And it will be required to set up if you're planning to use fingerprint, face recognition, or both. And the reason it's required for either or both of those other ones is because the fingerprint and face recognition are biometrics, and the biometrics aren't 100% reliable. Now, in the times where they just fail you because they have a sissy fit and refuse to recognize you because maybe you just got a tiny little blemish or on your face or your finger, you can always unlock your device using PIN, pattern, or password. Now, I'm going to be setting up a pattern right here just because why not? Now, I do need to wait 5 seconds because apparently Infinix thinks that their user base is absolutely retarded that if you have a password, you need to remember it. Like, wow, no effing... Wow, tell me more, Sherlock here. Jesus. So we're gonna repeat it now. And here's our password that we will need to remember. Who would have thought that your password needs to be remembered? Anyway, moving on, we have Google services. So we have services like location, scanning, sending user and diagnostic data, and then one that you can't really do anything with it, which is install updates and apps. And the reason you can't do anything with that is because Google is being a piece of shit, and they're going to be forcing down your throat updates even if you don't want them. Just know that there are some updates that you don't even know are being installed on your device without your permission, knowledge, and even if you try to stop them, it's basically tough shit, you're not. Unless you really want to. But that kind of poses some other problems, which I am going to go into, just so you're fully aware of what we're signing up here for. So let's start off with the location, scanning, and sending user and diagnostic data. All of these kind of, I would say, work in conjunction to each other in certain circumstances. So you can turn off location, right? Which, and here, if I remember correctly, includes Wi-Fi, GPS, and about it. So cool. Apparently, we're not using location through Wi-Fi and GPS. Well, we can still get access through our location by, for instance, Bluetooth, which can be done through other devices that are in its vicinity. These phones will communicate with each other, so your phone is never really anonymous in a way, and your location is never not being tracked in reality. Another thing is the scanning. So basically, you can't really use Wi-Fi network for scanning and Bluetooth, so your device shouldn't be really connecting to other devices. Guess what? It still is, so it doesn't really matter. It's just doing it without your permission or knowledge now. And it also can do other things like NFC to do this, or any other way like mobile networks to also connect to towers and track your location that way. So again, it doesn't really matter. None of these options really do what they're supposed to do, because these creepy ass bugs will do it any other way than they're listing right here to basically circumvent this, so they know exactly where you are. And one thing that I can kind of show you as a proof of this is going to be a very simple one, but one that is very indicative of what I'm talking about. So here's my phone. Now, I want to remind you that when your phone is using microphone for calls, recording memos, or something like that, you get a green little dot. It's one that is designed part of Android for privacy purposes, so you know when your phone is listening to you. And just to kind of prove this, I'm going to open up a recorder. There we go, a voice recorder. I'm going to start recording, and you can see there it is, that icon that I was talking about. It's a tiny little green dot. Cool. Let's stop this. So, give it a moment, it's going to disappear. Any moment, unless, wait, I might need to close the application. Let's try that now. Wait, why is it still on? Just piss off. Are you effing kidding me here? Okay, let me just deal with this. I need to stop this to get rid of this crap. Save, cool, close it, and there we go. Now it's gone. Okay, so now the phone isn't listening to me. I closed the application that was using the microphone. The phone doesn't use a microphone right now, so it shouldn't hear me, right? Like these options would suggest. So if it's not using microphone, then why will it respond to OK Google? And it's automatically using the microphone. Interesting. It shouldn't really respond to a voice command if the microphone is off. Now should it? And furthermore, OK Google, are you listening to me all the time?
No, I only listen when you activate me.
Well, that's very surprising, considering you literally just listened to me without the microphone being enabled. Well, so like I said, take these options with a grain of salt, because this is just a absolute bullshit what's right here. It's not really true. Nothing here actually works. So this is all just kind of for your little mental kind of thing where you think you turn something off, but in reality the company tells you, go F yourself, we're still going to do what you don't want us to do, because go F yourself. And one of those biggest go F yourselves is this piece of shit right here, the last one, install updates and apps. Now this one is the most disgusting piece of shit in here because you can go into your settings, turn off automatic updates for system, apps and all that bullshit, right? But when Google decides that, like they tried to recently, to basically remove your ability to install third-party applications, and that was supposed to come in 2026. We're still not here, but they kind of tracked back on that one because of the massive pushback. But let's assume that they didn't. You can turn off your every kind of update that you possibly can find. And when Google implements that bullshit, if they would have done that, your turned off updates would matter nothing whatsoever, because this update wouldn't be going through the official kind of way of your phone being updated that is off. It will be coming through a hidden service that is running in the background of your phone called OTA, system updates. Now, that piece of shit is a system process that is running in the background without your permission, knowledge, and you can't really turn it off. You can, though, completely delete it, assuming you know what you're looking for. But that poses some other problems, like your device not getting any more security updates. But to be fair, at least from my perspective, if those are the two options, either have corporations decide how I'm going to be using my device and then basically forcing down my throat something that I don't want, or not having a security updates and having a phone that is more vulnerable to, I don't know, hacks and stuff like that. You know what? I think I prefer the hacker, because at least usually I can figure out that my phone is being hacked or something weird and shady is happening to it. Unlike Google, that is basically have a full control over the system and can implement that without my knowledge under the radar. So yeah, go screw yourself, Google. I think I prefer to delete that bullshit and you having no more control over my phone. After all, it is my device and it is yours too. You should have full control over your device and what it does when it does it. So moving on, we have set up your lock screen. Now this is, I believe, a wallpaper carousel or something along those lines. So refresh your lock screen with stunning images and fresh inspirations. Okay, by tapping agree. So yeah, this is basically wallpaper carousel, but it looks like this one is, by the looks of these images, using AI to generate them. Which these, at least if they're like this, they don't look that bad. But my experience, usually wallpaper carousels are absolute atrocious garbage. So I'll be skipping this nonetheless, even if they look okay. I honestly don't feel like having that one wallpaper of a random ass woman on my wall as a wallpaper on my phone. And then if I have a girlfriend and she sees it, well, I now need to explain why did I have some kind of random ass person, woman specifically, as a wallpaper that then disappears like I'm trying to hide something. You know what? I value peace and quiet. So I think turning that off is a much better option rather than needing to explain to your significant other that you're not hiding anything. That this was just a random wallpaper that won't show up for probably again when you don't want it to. So that's why I personally like to turn that off. Now moving on, we have mobile cloner. So this is INFINIX's way or application for moving over data from an older device. Let's just say you want to move it from this phone to the new one here. All you need to do is just download mobile cloner to App Store or any other means. It will most likely tell you if you go through this. So you can download that application on an older device, assuming it's not INFINIX. If it is, you can just open it up. They usually come pre-installed. And then connect these two devices and select what you want to move over to this phone. Now I'll be selecting skip instead of try now. And this finishes up the setup. Now just know that you can also use that mobile cloner at any point after the setup is finished as well. So it's not just limited to the setup. You can find it somewhere here. I have no freaking clue where, to be honest. Let's see, maybe here. Oh, there we go, mobile cloner. As you can see, it's right here. So you can, in the future, open it up and move over the data afterwards as well, so don't worry. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.